All right, everybody, welcome, greetings. We warmly welcome you to the Bridging Dimensions show here with me, Marguerite Rigoglioso, and our school, Seven Sisters Mystery School. Today, I am very, very excited to have my beautiful sister, priestess, friend, guest, Angela de la Agua, who we will be hearing more about shortly. But just as we get started here, we just want to let you know that today we're going to be talking about Mother India and her mysteries, Mother Divine, Mama Cacao, and also how all of these are connected. And so I want to draw your attention to the fact that Angela and I will be offering our December 21st, 2023 winter solstice cacao ceremony together this year on the 21st. And the information for how you may register for that is below in the show notes. And so we warmly welcome you to have a lived experience of all three of these things that we will be discussing in that beautiful window of the solstice. As in the global north, we pivot back into the light, and in the global south, we celebrate the zenith of the light. So please come and be with us that day. I also wanted to let you know that I know that this is a season of a lot of intensity for people, and for those of you who wish to have some more support, I have some sessions available the month of December for you. And that link will also be going in the chat, and it will also be going in the show notes. And for those of you who want to go a little bit deeper with the sacred holidays, you can receive our free holiday webinar, Putting the Sacred Back in Your Holidays, for free when you book a session with me. And that is with the promo code SUPPORT50, all caps, SUPPORT50, when you go into the shopping cart. So we welcome you to do that. I am definitely here and available to support you for anything that is going on in your life right now. And also, if it has to do with the tension and pressures of the holidays, that can be especially helpful to you. So I want to welcome Angela de la Agua, my dear sister, who I've known for a number of years now. Our association goes back to her discovering my work on divine birth, and then coming into the Seven Sisters Mystery School community as a Dove Oracle Priestess, and then a teaching assistant for the Priestess of the Dove Oracle training. She has also been a member of our faculty with the Sacred Feminine Plant Medicine Academy this past summer, where she brought incredible, beautiful teachings about Mama Cacao to us. And then she and I co-led a ceremony through that offering. She also is now offering her own Embracing Cacao course, which you can still register for. We will put that also under the show notes. And that is a way, by signing up for that, that is another way that you can join our cacao ceremony for free. So Angela is the sacred oracle of Joshua Tree, I would say, in California. She's been living there for many years, sort of anchoring the sacred energies there, doing many things, teaching many people, especially myself, about Mama Cacao and its sacred use in ceremony. She is a practitioner of the Holy Womb Chakra teachings, as am I. We are both certified to teach that system. And with this, we honor the great Hindu master, the late Sri Kaleshwar, and his divine mother lineage in Laytonville, California, as well as Penaconda, India. And so this brings us to Angela's trip to India, which, Angela, I'm not sure if this was your first trip or your second trip, but first of all, let me welcome you.
Thank you. It's so wonderful to be here and to have this opportunity to share. And yes, thank you so much for creating the opportunity to share. I'm
Uh,
so grateful. Yeah.
Blessed be, blessed be. Well, I already see that we have many people watching, so we say hello to all of you. We are welcoming your comments and your questions for Angela. This is not an oracle transmission. This is more of a conversation we're having, but we always welcome your information in our chat, in the chat function on YouTube. All right, so Angela, why did you go to India? Was this your first trip? What prompted it? If it's your second trip, why did you go again?
Indeed, it was my first time going to India. And I want to give a shout out to Jessica Zdenek, who brought my attention to this pilgrimage that I went on, which was, at this point, it's been a month since I've been back from it. And so I just came back from this month-long pilgrimage in India. And it was for very specific intentions and purposes, divine purposes, why I went. But I do want to acknowledge Jessica because she connected me with this specific group that I went with under the guidance of Laura Stone, who is a longtime student of Sri Kaleshwar. She was with him in the early days. Really powerful healer and teacher and very experienced guide in India. She lived at the ashram that I went to with her in Panakonda, Sri Kaleshwar's ashram there for over 10 years. So I was blessed with the opportunity to attend a program there and to be in India for the first time under the guidance of someone who's very experienced. And so I am grateful to Jessica for making that connection. And just to say that Jessica is part of our Dove Oracle Priestess lineage. I know Jessica through you, Marguerite.
Yes.
It's just this beautiful, continued evolution of the paths that intertwine. And, I, like you were saying earlier, I came into your work through your very first offering with the Priestess of the Dove training, and we hadn't worked together at all. So that was my first time meeting you and knowing you, and Jessica was in that same journey. So that's how Jessica and I met, and how we met, of course. And then later on, you introduced, you had found out about a Holy Womb Chakra workshop being held at some place in Laytonville, California. Taught by someone that you knew something about, who is Cindy Lindsay, a really profound teacher in this lineage of the womb chakra teachings. And so you brought my attention to that, and we ended up going together to receive that initiation in Laytonville back in 2017. So then, as you were saying, we're both certified teachers in this lineage as a result of that. And then later on, I taught my first workshop with the womb chakra teachings, and then Jessica came to that, and that's how Jessica was introduced. And then she continues on the path on her own, and she's discovered Laura, who does these journeys in India. And I had always wanted to go to India. It's been a call of my soul for years and years. Even before I came into the path with the womb chakra teachings and getting, familiar with the ancient knowledge through the lineage of Sri Kaleshwar. And that all happened in 2017. And so this was really meaningful for me to be able to go to India for the first time, to have a direct connection with Sri Kaleshwar, with the ashram that he, created and established in Panakonda. And, I've heard so much about it because all of my work in this lineage has been basically remotely experienced, and for the most part, in a solitary sort of way, where I'm not immersed in physical community, but engaged in remote community. And that workshop that we went to was a week long that we spent in Laytonville in 2017, but that was the only time that I've been in person within the community of this lineage. And so time over the years, I have been in my own experiences with the womb chakra teachings, as well as other systems that Sri Kaleshwar taught. So I've had a lot of experience with different processes through this lineage, and so I I was ready. I was definitely ready to take it to the next level, basically. And so and go to India and really have this direct experience of being not only just in Mother India for the first time, which would be profound in, I feel, any context, but especially so in the context of deepening my connection with this lineage and learning more, and hopefully finding a more sense of intimate personal connection with all of this.
Mhm.
um, and so the timing of this is everything. You know, I had first connected with Laura earlier this past spring to learn more about her pilgrimages, and knowing that ultimately she was going to be guiding a group during October, for the month of October, which the purpose for that being to go to the ashram for Navaratri.
Yeah.
And Navaratri is a huge power time in India, and it's honored and celebrated in different types of ways depending on where you are in India. But it's essentially the 9 nights of the goddess. It's seen as the time when the goddess Mother Divine is descending to the earth and bestowing blessings on people, like she's here, kind of thing, and accessible. So her energy is highly accessible during Navaratri.
Mm.
And so that's a huge, it's kind of the biggest festival of the whole year, so it's a really big deal in India. And so there was a 10-day program in Penakonda at the ashram in honor of Navaratri, and so I really wanted to be there for that specifically,
Mhm.
knowing that Navaratri is a very highly charged time of purification, of healing, of releasing. um, and also, I was looking at the dates and saw that it lined up specifically with the eclipse portal that happened in October that we just came out of. And the alignment of that also just felt so clear to me. And I just knew without a doubt, like, I'm going to be there. I have to be there. This is extraordinary energy. So much is going to be possible. There's so much transformation that can happen with all of this happening simultaneously. And so it was just kind of this, absolute yes, seeing everything come together. Like, okay, this is going to be my first time going to India. I'm going to be going during Navaratri, and I'm going to be experiencing Navaratri and these other power spots that we travel to as well in other parts of India that are all happening within the eclipse energy, which we know as a highly auspicious timing when huge change comes to us or is enforced upon us. But it's such a powerful portal of transformation, and that happens every 6 months. And when we work with that energy, it's extraordinary things can happen in our lives. And so I came to India with that intention of readiness to let go of anything that no longer resonates with my path and no longer serves me, the readiness to let go of who is not me anymore, because I've been through a really transformative journey in the last year and a half already. And just finding myself asking a lot of questions in really deep ways, and feeling like there was going to be a lot of medicine for me in that journey, a lot of healing and a lot of revelation, hopefully a lot of clarity
Yeah.
where the path is taking me. So that's just kind of the why. Like, that's why I went.
Right.
And so
So
me.
I wanna get a sense. Can you set the scene for us of you coming into the ashram for the first time? What did it look like? What did it feel like? What were you going through internally? I mean, obviously, you've already landed somewhere in India. You've then had to take some kind of journey over to Penakonda, and you're coming upon this splendorous location. What was going on inside of you as a woman and as a priestess?
Mm. Well, the upon arrival and within, I would say, the first several days, it was just a huge adjustment. Uh, I'm not very well traveled.
Mm,
This is also maybe helps to paint the picture. But I live in Joshua Tree in the desert, and I've lived here in a grounded way for over 12 years, going on 13 years. And I've lived in Southern California my entire life, and I've not really gone many places. So it was a big shift in reality to arrive in India, and India herself, the energy just undeniable in terms of it's different here. This is a whole different culture. It's a different vibration, and my body, it took time to adjust to it. And so we are at the ashram for the first several days, and I'm traveling. Laura is guiding a group, and so we're a small, sweet group of beautiful souls, some of who might be watching right now with us.
mm,
Uh, and then within that, we are meeting in this program dynamic where there's other people coming in. So then there's like a real sense of community with a lot more people
mm,
coming who have the connection with this lineage. It was a lot of adjustment on the physical level, on the energetic level, for sure. The energy in Panaconda is just extraordinary, and it's so extraordinary that my guide Laura, she would say, you don't even have to leave your room to receive the healing that is available here, or to receive healing for your soul that is taking place. uh, Penaconda is, there's, I have to also just preface that it's my first time going here, and I'm going to do my best with my first impressions of all of this, but hopefully I get the information right as best as I can. But Penaconda is considered to be the birthplace of Mother Divine. And so it has a very ancient history
mm,
of kings, a really important king in ancient India having lived there, of other rishis, and having spent a lot of time there, Jesus having spent time there and
wow,
meditating there. And the ashram is situated at the base of Penaconda Mountain, which is a beautiful, powerful mountain. It's very clear. The vibration of it is very strong. And it actually kind of reminded me a little bit of Joshua Tree and the boulders here, but the rocks, the formations of the rocks were kind of similar to the rocks that I know here. But the the ashram itself is exquisite. It's beautiful. It's small, probably relative to other ashrams or India, but it's small, but it is impressive. It's the
mm,
details of it are so extraordinary and so divine. And there's such a beautiful community that lives there. There's an Indian staff that is continuously operating and maintaining the energy there. And I was really struck initially with the sense of the profound love, um, that is there,
mm,
and that is embodied by everyone that I would come in contact with. Um, the staff, there a lot of the time I wouldn't be able to necessarily talk and engage, and um, mostly maybe because there's a language barrier, and maybe some people don't speak English at all, or just a little bit. But that sense of love was very present and very palpable. And one of the initial things that really touched my heart and my soul so deeply was just how people would acknowledge one another. And there would just always be an acknowledgement whenever someone would see you. They would put their right hand over their heart and look you in the eye and just give a little nod, or maybe say hello, or whatever.
mm,
But
wow,
that was so beautiful, and that was something that we experienced in other parts of India too, was that kind of acknowledgement and greeting. And so, that heart connection to me just felt like it was just ever present, ever accessible. And coming from Southern California, it's not something that I am familiar with, to just be amongst people who were just naturally, to me, it just felt like naturally in this heart open state. But we're in Penaconda, we're at this ashram where there's powerful energy that is being generated. A powerful temple, a couple of temples, I would say, that like the two main features of the ashram, there's a big Baba temple, and Shirdi Sai Baba is a huge aspect of this lineage. And so Sri Kaleshwar Shri Sai Baba was Sri Kaleshwar's master, basically. And he was a beloved saint in India that was renowned for his miracle healing abilities. And he lived his life as a beggar in India. And he was kind of turn of the century timing. So he's highly beloved in India in general. And so at the ashram, there is a big Baba statue at the main temple where a lot of the daily rituals and ceremonies are continuously taking place. There are beautiful, gentle, heart-open priests that are in devotion to maintaining the energy there. Mm-hmm. So that was a huge feature of our time there. And on top of the Baba temple, there's a Jesus temple. So it's kind of like this incredible coming together of, kind of a Christian saint and then, this Indian saint coming together in this one building. So we have the big Baba statue on the lower level, on the first level, and then Jesus is on the top level. And so a lot of power there, a lot of love there. And then the secondary, a second temple space is called the Dwarkamai, and that's where they have, there is a huge statue of Mother Divine. And I'm not really sure how big she is, but probably 8 or 9 feet tall, really just made from stone, powerful presence. And in the inner chamber of that Dwarkamai is the Samadhi of Sri Kaleshwar. And Sri Kaleshwar left his body in 2012. So he's there. His bones are laid to rest there in the Samadhi room. And the Samadhi room is, I can't even describe what that energy is like, but it's, I went to Egypt last year, and I immediately, the first time I was able to go into the Samadhi room for meditation. I just immediately thought about the King's Chamber and the Great Pyramid, because it felt like that level of massive, huge divine energy.
And Angela, let me ask you, this entire complex was built under Sri Kaleshwar's direction and kind of for the lineage that he was carrying on, yes?
Yes. This is where I don't know if I have all the specs accurate, but I believe he began building in 1997 or somewhere in the late 90s. And so, yes, that was his dharma, his calling, his vision to build the ashram in Penaconda. Mm-hmm. And it started out very humbly. He had like a thatched roof hut, where that was like the first structure that was built, and he lived in that hut for the first couple of years while it was being constructed. And so it's grown. There's 2 different apartment buildings where students can come and stay. Beautiful gardens, exquisite gardens, a Jesus garden, a Hanuman garden. It's there's so much beauty there, just in the landscape itself and the buildings and all the details involved. But also just I would just add that the devotion of everyone who lives there is so amazing. And from what I understand, that many of the Indian staff who resides there and maintains everything, a lot of them have been there since the very beginning.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so about how big is the core devotee group would you say there? Do you have any sense? And how many visitors are there who are in the devotional space per year? Anything like that?
I can't really say, honestly.
Yeah.
Kaleshwar, he was really focusing on Westerners with his teachings as he was channeling, and giving this ancient knowledge and these practices and processes that are coming from ancient palm leaf manuscripts directly, from Mother Divine herself. Essentially, is what all of this is about. Is it's all about connecting with her. But he focused a lot on Americans. He focused a lot on Germans,
Mhm.
Japanese, and so for the program that I was in for Navaratri, it was very multicultural. There's people from all over that were part of that. So, and I really can't say like how big the lineage is. I really don't know, but I know that for the bigger program, like when there's a lot of people at the programs, from what I gather, this Navaratri one was kind of a smaller, more intimate. I think there might have been 40 of us there, but like other times there can be like 100 to 200 students who are coming to stay at the ashram. So yeah.
Wow, okay. So for everybody watching, who are probably spirit workers, um, in the US and abroad, um, let's just tune into first of all, I mean, I can almost feel the transmission of what you're saying, and I can only liken it to, Amachi's ashram in California. Whenever I would go there, you'd practically be knocked over by the energy. You really had to be fairly dense not to be able to feel it at all. So I'm sure that is a very similar kind of thing. Um, what is it that you want to impart to our spirit communities who are watching this and will be watching this over time? What is how did this touch your soul or enhance your life, or what is the takeaway um, that you received that would be relevant to others, do you think? I know that's kind of a tall order, but I'm just asking you to tune into the energy of that.
Yeah, it's it's something that I am deeply integrating still. And I definitely came back from India a changed person. And
Oh, what way? Can you say?
well, I went there with that intention, like let me, like what is not true about me be completely undone, and let me be reborn into the truth of who I am being asked to embody at this time on my path
Yeah.
and service to the world, And so I believe I received that level of transformation, but it's because it feels so significant and major that it's hard to
Yeah.
even know for myself, because there's so many layers involved of what was experienced and received. There's so much that happened on the divine level
Mhm.
that you can't know what that
Right.
is. You can't know with the mind what that is. And, we received multiple high energy divine experiences over a short period of time, because we have Navaratri, which is so concentrated. It's daily fire pujas every single day, 10 days in a row, which is a lot in of itself. But
Yeah,
then
and these involve chanting for several hours and
2-hour-long pujas every single day, and that alone is huge in its healing potential,
yes.
and what it's blessing everyone with, But on top of that, we're receiving darshan of Mother Divine. We're having these huge intimate processes of being able to wash her feet,
Wow.
and intimate experiences like that, where we're going to other power spots that are huge pilgrimage sites for Indians, uh, and having darshan of really important saints and deities, and
In
looking
other
into
words, yeah, looking into the eyes of their statues or
life.
their photographs, right? And
So
listening.
exactly, yeah, so darshan being, seen and being seen by the divine.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
having those opportunities multiple times in these highly, highly charged places, which
Wow.
all on their own are huge experiences, and we did so much together, at one time on some level within a period of a month, and so to process that is no small thing, and it's not something to and also this is happening during the eclipses, right? So
Yeah.
it's a high energy, it's intense, and you don't I mean, I can only speak for myself. I don't really know. I can't know. I
Yeah.
just that
Yeah.
things feel different, that I see differently.
Mhm.
Um and
How do you come back and clean your bathroom after
exactly.
something like that? Have to get into the day-to-day grinds of it all.
It's very true. It's more than anything, it's been the technology and doing
Yeah, right. The
to the
computer.
part that's after, just after having darshan so many times and seeing into the eyes of God, uh, then I come back and I'm trying to do settings on Zoom meetings, and I'm just like, this feels weird. Like, I
Yes,
can't like, feels very different now.
very different where everything is skewed off from direct contact.
Yeah,
Wow. So
but I
let's just I wanna invite everyone to just feel into what Angela is describing and basically transmitting. And I just want to invite us to spend 30 seconds here receiving this transmission from Angela. And maybe, Angela, you can just provide um, some darshan transmission if that feels okay. And I'm just going to remain in silence. Thank you so much, just so that we can partake in our own fields of some of that energy through you and through what you're communicating. Um, so, what was the absolute highlight for you of the trip? Is maybe one or two things that really were striking?
there was definitely 1,000,000 highlights, truly.
Every moment was a highlight, right? I can imagine.
I mean, every moment was a blessing, and I felt that
Wow.
from the everyday encounters with Indians, um, witnessing their devotion, I think was deeply meaningful to me to
Mm,
be in a culture and a reality where daily devotion is just a given. It's just part of who they are, and where they're very connected to the ancient roots of India. It's very real. It's very present time. It's not a thing of the past. It's
right.
now. It's happening now, and that was definitely a huge blessing, to be part of that, to witness it continuously wherever we were in India, and just being deeply, deeply moved by that. And then I would say just there were times with these in the temples, or receiving darshan, where the energy would bring me to tears. Like I would just spontaneously start crying, um, or I would be able to place my hands on the samadhi of Shirdi Sai Baba. We went to Shirdi. That was a highlight for sure, which is where Shirdi Sai Baba lived and where he left his body. So his samadhi is there, and that's one of the biggest pilgrim sites in India. And the blessing to be able to place my hands on his samadhi. You get just a few seconds for a lot of these experiences because there's so many people. So you can only receive that blessing for a few seconds, and maybe you're not even like prepared the way that you want to be. I don't know. It's just kind of like sometimes it's like all happening so fast, and then you're just like, okay, I have to do this now. And then in that moment, like, the energetic transmission is so palpable, it's undeniable, like, you only need a few seconds. You only need a second, like, a transmission is just taking place, and my hands, my body would just be vibrating and shaking after an
Wow.
experience like that, you know?
Wow.
Um, and so these I formed a deeper relationship with Baba being there, um, and I think it went deep with him in ways I wasn't expecting,
Mhm.
during that time, and that was a huge blessing.
Wow.
And as well as with Sri Kaleshwar, as being there in his, in his ashram, in the place that he birthed and created, and it was a huge gift to be able to be amongst people who knew him,
Yeah.
and the sharing of stories never ended. It was constant, just sh people from, students of his that had that blessing of being with him while he was in his body still, or, just sharing from the staff, like, little just things about his personality even,
Mhm.
just really having a better sense of who he was, um, who he is, and that was very, very meaningful and profound, and so I guess, one of the gifts, one of the big takeaways too is that this is all real. It was being on this journey, being in Panaconda and going to all of these power spots, it's undeniable, that divinity is real, and what's possible when you open yourself to receive it.
Wow.
And miracle energy was a huge aspect of the journey. It's a huge aspect of Sri Kaleshwar in this lineage. It's
Yes.
his one of his main mission was to create a world with miracle level divine healers, and help other people access that level of healing ability that Jesus could command, that he could command, and so being there really helped instill that in me in a really significant, profound way, and witnessing miracles in small ways, in small, kind of mundane contexts, and then as well as on the high level reality as well. And because we were at the ashram during Navaratri, when Mother Divine is descended to the earth anyway, like, she's just descending to the planet, but we happen to be at the birthplace of Divine Mother.
Wow.
So, it's just we w I can't say that this happened to me at all, but, other people I was hearing were having darshan of Mother Divine in the truest sense of that word, which is not looking into the eyes of a statue, but looking into her eyes as an embodied form, which is a high process. That's something that, it's something that anybody can experience, but it's not a common thing, and so this is not having a vision, it's not closing your eyes and seeing Mother Divine, it's her with your eyes, it's open eye seeing of
Wow.
Mother Divine, that people were having that experience in Penaconda during that timing. So, even when you hear about it,
Yes. Yes.
it's hearing about it that people are having these experiences, it's like you receive that blessing too, you receive the transmission.
Yeah, in fact, for everyone watching, whether in live or in replay, I'd like us just to take a breath on that one and really sense into the eyes of Mother Divine in whatever form feels most comfortable to you. Could be Mother Mary, Mary Magdalene, um, any goddess, and just feeling that you are being seen, honored, acknowledged for your reality, being appreciated, thanked, and blessed. So thank you for that. And we had a comment Nancy is saying after the darshan earlier, she said she could feel the
Oh,
gardens of Penaconda. So that's really beautiful.
that's so
Yeah, we are welcoming comments. We are welcoming questions. We are welcoming super chats, which are little donations that you can make by clicking the icon, the currency icon under the video. And um, I think those can be done afterward as super stickers. All of that goes towards supporting Seven Sisters Mystery School's operating expenses. And someone is offering Sansar Carrasco, oh, the personal mantra plus Tesraim Manasa Shaktaraksha is the mantra to see her. Are you familiar with that one, Angela, by any
Yeah,
chance?
I mean, there are definitely those channels that you can open through mantra that will help make that possible for sure.
Yeah.
So in Sri Kaleshwar, when he was working with his students, like he would make those types of experiences possible for
Yeah.
many students, and would teach the processes to develop that connection to pull that darshan of Mother Divine on your own.
Yes, there are some extreme discussions of this by Alex Utterman, for example, in my Holy Womb Chakra teachings, which are available online at Seven Sisters Mystery School. And she talks about dramatic experiences of people going into rooms and being shown like Jesus sitting right there and Divine Mother, and just it's a lot for people to take in. It's like
Is
suddenly your whole ontological reality goes whack.
Yeah, and it's like that's kind of where I was entering all of this in India, was having heard these stories over time, over the last several years. And it was just so different to actually be there and receiving the same, not the same, but some of the same stories, but also a lot more
Yeah,
stories, new stories to me
yeah,
while being there, just I could feel it, like, of course this happens, and of course this is real, and that's what
yeah.
I
Of
was kind of saying earlier, like, it's real.
course,
This
this is real.
happens, and I got to hear many people, who were there at these timings with Swami Kaleshwar when he would give the darshan. People were talking about their experiences a lot, and so I got to hear a lot of the stories, and, especially about the Jesus darshan as well. I got to hear
Yeah,
multiple accounts from the same people, from different people in the same
which is really
experience.
cool. Really cool. Well, by the way, we have our sacred sister Jessica with us. She's saying, regarding receiving, she said, "That's a huge drop of light to digest, seeing the mother with our own eyes." Jai Ma, yeah.
Yeah, and Jessica was on the same pilgrimage,
I
um,
was I was wondering.
last year, a year ago.
Oh, okay.
So I forgot to mention that, but she actually went before I did this time, but that's how it all happened for me. So she paved the path for me to
Wow.
to be there myself.
Wow. So let me just tune into what I'd like to ask you next, and also in our remaining time, I'd like us to talk about, um, Mama Cacao as well as a high spirit, plant spirit emissary, Mother Divine. Um, Let me just see, is there anything else you'd like to say about your experience in India, at Panaconda, or anything else you'd like to transmit to people watching
Yeah,
before we do move the topic slightly?
sure. It is all connected, right? But
Yeah.
uh, I you were saying at the beginning this isn't an oracle session, but I think when we embody that inner realities, that it just comes through naturally anyway. Like, we're always able to transmit that wisdom, and it just kind of happens one way or another.
Yeah.
But I feel like the blessing energy is something that I've been reflecting on a lot. And, when you invited me to offer darshan a few minutes ago, I was directly connecting with those darshans that I received, as I'm
Mhm.
looking.
Mhm.
And it occurred to me as well that it's not something I have to consciously do, because just by talking about this life-changing experience and all these divine experiences I was blessed to receive, that it's happening, like the energy is present with me as I'm speaking, and so it's being transmitted
Mhm.
automatically.
Yeah.
And even if I'm not talking about it, it's with me, and it's with all of us who got to have these experiences. And there's something truly profound knowing that this energy is continuing to work its way to others and be a blessing for others. And there's so much that I can't speak to. There's so much like I can't give proper expression to. um, I I just believe that it's just all about the ability to expand love, and expand the blessings through these kinds of experiences, and the up leveling that takes place on our capacity to receive. I think is what happened for me. I think in India, this is I appreciate the opportunity to talk in this context with you, Marguerite, because I have been back a month and I really haven't talked about this because it's so huge and it's hard to know how to give it its due, like to honor it in the highest of ways. And so it's been very internal. So it's helping me to process it and digest it more just through having the conversation and the ability to share with others. So
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
Bless you. Well, we have Zahir with us saying, loving to be with you. Thank you both for sharing this light. And Laura Stone is here sending you love and saying there are many mantras to see her, but it is important to get initiation first. And so, yes, when you enter into the profound energies of these lineages, it does behoove you to take some of the courses either through me or you, Angela, or the Divine Mother Center as a start, to receive the understandings and the mantras and the proper use of them, and among other types of initiations that I know are available. I would just say the last question I have is, were you able to see any of the palm leaf manuscripts? Are they there?
Oh, that's a very good question. They probably are. They
Yeah.
probably are, and if they were there, I didn't see them. There's a lot to take in, so,
Yes, exactly.
first time around,
Well, you
I'm
were
glad.
getting
Yeah,
whatever was on them.
yeah. I'm glad Laura's here to help, clarify, and Zahir was part of our group as well that
Should
she
be.
was guiding. Yeah, so
This
great.
would be sacred
Yay.
ones. So yes, so let's segue into that you've got Starlet's Creative Life. We know each other from the Spirit Weavers Gathering many years ago. I still remember your orange juice ceremony. Okay.
That's where it all began for me, was juice ceremony. Wait,
Juicing and
before this is
cacao.
a good segue to cacao. It was before.
And so let me say that my initiation to cacao was directly through Sri Kaleshwar's lineage as well, because it happened in Laytonville, California in July 2017, when I took the Holy Womb Chakra System course that Angela went to with several other of our sisters, taught by our beautiful, beloved teacher, Cindy Lindsay. And Angela offered us cacao that morning of the day that we received the teachings about Mother Mary, that had us all in puddles of tears on the floor with gratitude and relief that Mother Mary in her true form was being returned to us through Sri Kaleshwar's understanding and integration of her, and teachings about how she used her Holy Womb Chakra with these mantras, with these sacred drawing yantras and so forth. So prior to going and hearing all that information, Angela's there with her beautiful cups of this thick liquid that almost tasted like drinking Mother Earth herself. I couldn't even finish it, but I thought, well, okay. Then we go over there. Now, I really did not know that cacao was a heart opener and a mind opener. All I know was that all of a sudden I'm looking at Angela and I'm like, Angela, you were in a scene. You walked in the desert with sandals. I can see you with your robes, and you were there. You were kind of part of this whole thing that we're talking about today. And then just receiving the beauty of these teachings about Mother Divine, which I have then continued to incorporate into my teachings and my two books. My next one coming out next year in July is called The Secret Life of Mother Mary. And that's where I really integrate the information about what Sri Kaleshwar shared.
Mhm.
So I was initiated into Mama Cacao through you Sri Kaleshwar, Cindy Lindsay, the Divine Lineage Center, and there was no need to go back from I had you bring cacao to the Priestess of the Dove Oracle training, and then it became a regular feature of my life as an oracle, as a teacher, and then in the ceremonies that I've been sharing, learning how to do them from you, from the lineage of Paula Ish and Gustavo Eek of Mexico. So let's talk about how this sacred plant medicine relates to your experience of Mother Divine and the work that you're doing as a priestess of the Holy Womb, related to India, of the heart, and so forth.
Mm. What was the astrology that week?
I
When
know. Have to
you
go
know,
back
that
and
was
look.
a game-changing week in our lives in Laytonville.
Yeah,
Uh,
life changing.
it's just we didn't know what we were getting into with the Holy Womb Chakra whatsoever. So just to say that also, we had no idea.
Oh,
And then that guidance that, I was drinking cacao every morning of that workshop, and then the guidance that morning to share and invite others to come into my tent and let's all drink cacao
that's right.
before today's workshop with Lindsay, and it being the Mother Mary Day without, none of it's planned, it's just all happening.
It's just
But
unbelievable when you
uh,
go back and connect the dots. It's like,
I love the dot connecting. I get so much
yeah,
from that. But it was no coincidence, obviously. And for Mama Cacao to just kind of rise up and be like, we're gonna go into the Mother Mary territory today. And it's a direct connection, Mother Mary, Mama Cacao, Mother Divine. This is all, the same energy of love, essentially. This is what's interesting about the work that has called me, where I never feel like I'm looking for these things, but they just kind of come to me. And the baseline of everything that I'm most fully doing in my work, whether it's the womb chakra work as a healer and a teacher, or with Mama Cacao and sharing ceremonies, the obvious connection is love.
yes,
It's the purity of love, and doing work in these different sorts of ways to access love and to remember the love within. And so I relate to Mama Cacao, like as a mother, it's obvious. So many people call her Mama Cacao. That's a mother energy. And so, with all the plant medicines, they're all here in service to us for our healing in some way or another. And for Mother Cacao, Mama Cacao, Ish Cacao, it's like she's coming to us in this really gentle kind of form that's pleasing and inviting, and just kind of like, I'm going to be this delightful medicine presence in your life
yeah,
to encourage you to have your heart open and to learn how to love yourself more and to learn how to love others unconditionally. And so this is an aspect of Mother Divine. And so that's how I relate to her, is I see cacao spirit, this medicine, as a form of Divine Mother. And so, obviously Mother Mary is all about the love and all of the process, and also in the lineage, um, with Sri Kaleshwar, one of the things that I know that really made a difference for you and I, especially in first receiving all of this, because there were resistances and blocks that we had to be able to receive the power of this information, because it was also unexpected.
yeah.
Um, and I think the thing that was kind of a game-changing moment was the Mother Mary Day of receiving those teachings, and also how Cindy made it clear that in this lineage, Mother Mary is revered as the greatest master who's walked the planet.
I
So
know.
we hear that and we're just like, oh, okay, like that's interesting. Like that this Hindu-based,
That's right.
and lineage that's coming through this young Indian man, that this is actually like all pointing towards Mother Mary as being.
I know. It was so unbelievable. It was so incredible. And when he said that basically indicating she was the great one from whom Jesus had come, not the other way around, it was like, oh yeah, let's write this thing, set this thing right. And with that, like I was instantly empowered as a woman on the planet again.
Yeah. Yeah. So powerful. So
Yeah.
powerful. So, so here we have Mother Mary being presented as the epitome of what's possible when you have full command on your womb chakra, on your holy womb chakra.
Yes.
And Jesus being the a master as well, like this is what's possible, especially when it's a man that has
Yeah.
an
But her
empower.
student,
Yeah.
her student.
Yeah. And then so Mother Mary being this embodiment of Mother Divine,
Yeah.
that's what
The
she is. So
complete and utter embodiment who had her full ascension.
yes.
We're all talking about ascension this, ascension that. Well, take a look. She did it. And she's available to show us how and help us with our own human wounds in order to get there,
Mhm.
because that's part of her mothering, right?
Yes.
And he would also say that Mary Magdalene was part of this as well, that she knew these channels, as he calls them, the mantras and so forth, and Jesus did as well. So yeah, that was a momentous, in retrospect, life-changing day on so many. I mean, only as we're talking am I realizing the layers for my personal life too, that was life-changing because um, everything that's poured forth and that will be poured forth next year in 2024, the stellar year of healing and love with the Holy Family at Seven Sisters Mystery School,
Mm,
is actually rolling out
amazing.
from all of this.
Amazing.
So yes, and what I appreciated so much, especially when you taught your module in the Sacred Feminine Plant Medicine Academy this year, your presentation on Mama Cacao, Ish Cacao, was so extraordinary. All of the things that you had uncovered about her, the history, the mystical aspects, the connection to love, were really quite amazing. And helped me to go even more deeply in my work and play with Mama Cacao. And so in our last few minutes, why don't we talk about how you and I are going to play again together with everyone who wants to be part of this ceremony in our community? Would the theme is about connecting with the love light. That's what we're calling it, rebirthing your love light at this time of the light. Um, is there anything you'd like to say in particular about this ceremony? I know that you and I will be going deeper and deeper into it in the days coming in preparation, but anything for now?
Well, I am excited to see what comes through because it'll be my first ceremony, public ceremony that I'll be helping to facilitate and hold space for since India, and it's just kind of like
Watch out.
there's still so much to be revealed, and
That's right. That's right.
so just kind of exciting, like what will come through and
Yeah,
what new ways will I understand the journey? How is that all that I've received through all of those transmissions of energy and darshans and
yeah.
blessings received? For me, again, it has so much to do. It's everything to do with how does this help others? How is
That's right.
our personal experiences helping others on their own personal journeys? So I'm just excited to be in that co-creative space because I also what was very clear in India too is that there's so much to be experienced when you're not just by yourself and that you're with others.
That's
Um,
right.
that was one of the biggest changes of my reality was being with people all the time where I live in solitude and I have for like 13 plus years, longer maybe on some level. So there was a lot around that, but it's also just like I kind of love this, like like you get so much more with others.
Yeah.
The energies become amplified. So just to say that with you, us co-creating, whether rather than just individually holding ceremony, I can see right now that so much more is going to be available
That's
to
right.
us, and that we'll be able to expand that field of energy of love all the more.
That's right. That's right. I think there will be will be an oracle state for some of the guided journeys that we'll take people on. There might be some information coming through us, the power of two, and then the power of however many people are in the circle, which that's what it's all about. I love it because it's democratic. Like everybody can have their own experience, and we allow time for people to be communing through Mama Cacao with Mother Divine for anything you need in your own life. Um, related to love and all that is not love, you know?
Mhm.
So yes, so we encourage everyone to register for that ceremony. Now, those who are already in Angela's beautiful course, Embracing Cacao, which is still registering and which we will put the link for under the show notes, in the show notes, can join our ceremony for free. Those of you who also are part of or join the monthly Mary and Magdalene Empowerments Circle that I offer will get into the ceremony for free. And all of those methods of registering, and if you just want a one-time pass, you can purchase that as well. All of those methods for purchasing are on the registration page, the link of which is under in the show notes here. So we encourage you to choose which medicine is best for you at this time. For those who choose the monthly Mary and Magdalene Empowerment Circle, you will carry on into the new year with that third Thursday of each month live and or in replay, and we are expanding that, and that is going to be ground zero for what I'm unfolding with the stellar year of love and healing with the Holy Family, um, as a part of the unfoldment of my book coming out mid-year. Angela, did you want to say anything about your Embracing Cacao course at all?
Well, we are in process. We're about midway through the live course, but it's available in replay. So if you're feeling called and worried about missing, the first two sessions, no worries whatsoever. Everything's available in replay, and it's powerful. It's powerful. It's my first time teaching a comprehensive, longer form program with cacao, and she's revealing a lot. And again, just with that sense of where two or more are gathered, there's a lot of healing that takes place for people within this community. It's a beautiful, beautiful, sacred community with heart open souls who are here for the healing work, and some are not here for the healing work, and healing is taking place anyway. So
Yeah,
that's
that's right.
yeah.
That's beautiful. And yes, so we highly encourage you to join us for our December 21st, 2023 solstice cacao ceremony to have what it is that Mama Cacao has in store for you, be it healing, be it illumination, be it reaching ecstatic realms, be it guidance for your life. And with that, I will thank my beautiful sacred sister, Angela de la Agua, for being here, for all that she has shared. I want to thank Karen Gordon, my uh, administrative manager, for being behind the scenes, helping. And I want to thank all of you for being present whenever you are watching. And may this bring you bright blessings and deep healing. We will say bye for now.
Blessed be.
Blessed be.
Thank you so much.